You are abusing Section 50 right now.
I'm not abusing
Yes,
Section
you are.
50.
Yes,
I
you
require
are.
you under
Unless you're
Section
police
50
are going to court
to provide your
Section
name
50,
and
I'm
your
taking-
address.
Welcome to the Audit Lab, where police power meets public accountability.
This episode is brought to us by News Now Yorkshire. Be sure to check the link below, subscribe to his channel, and give him the credit he deserves. In this episode, Auditor News Now, also known as Michael, is standing outside a police station filming with a friend when officers arrive and immediately reach for powers they clearly do not understand. Details are demanded under Section 50 without the legal threshold being met. And when Michael calmly pushes back with facts, the response is not reflection, it is a threat of arrest. Instead of backing down, Michael does what these officers never expect. He documents the encounter properly, turns it into a civil claim, and
Some reports from some members of the public from the front counter that was feeling a bit harassed. Right, obviously by you being in and out of the front counter.
You haven't been in and out of the front
All
counter.
right. Obviously we've got vulnerable victims.
You haven't been in and out of the front counter.
Just let me explain.
No, let me explain. You haven't been
We've
in
got
and out.
vulnerable victims
You
in and
haven't
out of the police station that are feeling a little bit harassed by you filming around the
you're wrong
station. Right, can I just take your name and your address,
I'll give you
please?
my name on one condition.
No, I'm asking you. for
Yeah,
your
and,
name
and I'm
address.
telling you, and I'm replying, I'm saying, you get my name and address on one condition. You take that gang sign off.
What gang sign?
That gang sign
That's
there.
not relevant to why I'm here, is it? Just get your name and address, please, on Section 50 of the Police Reform Act.
Do you believe that I'm committing antisocial behaviour
At
right
this
now?
moment, yes, so that's why I'm required to provide
On
your
what
name and your
grounds?
address.
What ground? What makes you think that I'm committing antisocial behaviour?
Especially recording at a police station.
Recording at a police station is not antisocial.
Guys, we've been told, and we've had information from the front counter, that
Yeah.
people in there waiting to be seen by
Yeah.
officers, victims of crime,
Yeah.
are feeling harassed
So we're going to go back
by
around
your
the filming.
behaviour
We're
at the
gonna go
front
back around
counter.
the
Just
filming.
listen
I
to
wanna-
what I'm saying. I'm
You
telling
listen-
you what the information
Okay,
is. You've asked
yeah.
me, let me answer.
this is a complete misapplication of Section 50, and the officer reveals it in his own explanation. Michael and his friend are not filming victims, they are filming police. Recording a police station from a public place does not become harassment simply because someone inside the building may feel uncomfortable. Harassment requires conduct directed at a person, not the passive act of filming a building. Michael is not approaching anyone, following anyone, or interacting with vulnerable individuals at all. The suggestion that filming a facade somehow harasses unseen individuals inside the station stretches the definition beyond recognition, and it certainly does not meet the legal threshold required to demand names.
So, they're feeling harassed. Okay.
So you should go and explain to them
we
that
are
filming
going
in
to
public
speak
is
to them in a
completely
moment.
illegal.
We're gonna
It's not
speak to both
harassment,
sides.
and you are abusing Section 50 right now.
I'm not abusing
Yes,
Section
you are.
50.
Yes,
I
you are.
require you under
Unless Yorkshire
Section
police are
50
going to court
to
for this,
provide your
Section
name
50,
and
I'm
your
taking them to
address.
court.
What is your name,
You'll
sir?
be next. You'll be next.
What is your name, sir?
What's the details of Section 50 that requires me to give my details? What's the
Constable
wording
in
of the law?
uniform is required. You are required to give your name and address to a constable in uniform. If we believe you're acting in an
And what's
antisocial
the
manner.
belief that we're committing an antisocial
The
behaviour manner?
information that has been
No, we've
passed.
been
You're asking
filming.
me a question.
You could
Let
get
me
arrested, you know.
respond.
Okay, so
Okay.
let's have a conversation.
So that is any person
Yeah.
that is not in the same household.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm quite happy the people that are feeling alarmed
Yeah.
are not from your household.
Correct.
So, under that act, as you
Yeah.
well pointed out when I turned up, I require you to provide your name
Yeah.
and your address.
Also, under that same act, you have to have reasonable suspicion that I am committing
and I
antisocial
have.
behaviour. And what's
So
that?
I require,
what's that
if you fail to provide
reasonable
those
suspicion?
details,
Reasonable
you
suspicion.
can be arrested.
Where's the
reasonable
So I am
suspicion?
asking you one more
He's asking you
time.
for reasonable suspicion.
Excuse me, I'm not talking
No,
to
he's
you,
asking you a
sir.
fair
I'm asking you
question
one
there.
more time to provide
Fully
your
enough,
name and
man.
your address.
If I'm required to do
Failure
so,
to do so,
This is why the
you can
rating
be
there-
arrested.
if I'm required to do so by law, then I will.
they're
But just
abusing
before I do, I would like to know what the grounds are that you suspect that I'm committing
I've
antisocial
explained
behaviour.
that to you already.
Michael tells the officer directly that the power is being misused. Instead of reassessing, the officer doubles down. He begins using vague phrases such as any person not from the same household being alarmed, as though that alone satisfies the law. It does not. Section 50 is not triggered simply because someone might feel uneasy. It requires an actual public order offence or a genuinely evidenced risk of one. The threat of arrest is the clearest indication that this is not about safeguarding anyone inside the station. It is about forcing compliance. Provide your details or face arrest. That is not law enforcement, it is coercion. Section 50 is being used as a blunt instrument, not to address disorder but to punish refusal.
You said
What is your name, please,
No,
sir?
there's no grounds. You don't have grounds.
You don't have grounds.
What is your name?
But out of fear of arrest and threat
I
of
have
violence.
reasonable grounds to suspect, and I've explained
No,
that.
no, you don't.
So I am
No, you
asking you now to provide
You've got to
your
find
name.
yourself in
Out
civil
of
court here,
fear
mate.
of arrest and threat of violence, I will provide you my details.
Under
Right, is
duress.
there anything I can
Under
reasonably
duress.
do for you to provide
duress is
under the
giving
Police
you it.
Reform Act your name and your address?
You could provide me with reasonable grounds, but like I've just said, under threat of violence, fear,
Definitely. Threat of violence.
I've explained that.
Fear
I'm going to
and
ask
duress.
you one more time. And
let me
for
just
your
finish,
name
and then I will.
your address.
out of threat of violence, fear, and duress, I will give my details under that section unlawfully.
What's your name, please, sir?
I'm going
Michael.
to film every single member of public going in
Mike.
that building now. We're not
Michael.
gonna do nothing
Michael.
about it.
Michael.
And your last name?
Listen, Michael.
Right. I do apologise because the radio's talking to me. We've got
You're
cars
quite
pulling
rude
in
to us
and out.
though, guys. You've
So,
completely
Michael,
abused
what is your
everything.
last name?
I've just given you it.
I'm asking you again.
Hey, listen, you're really rude.
No, you're
No,
rude.
you're
No,
rude.
no, no,
You're
no,
rude
no.
because you're abusing section 50.
Powers, mate. You're rude.
We're not the ones that's shouting
Michael.
here.
No, you're
What is
abusing
your
powers,
surname?
mate. You're very rude. You don't
I just
abuse
told you.
police powers.
I'm asking you again because I didn't hear you.
Well, that's your problem, not mine, isn't it?
Michael provides his details for one reason only. The officer has cornered him with the threat of arrest. That is not cooperation, it is submission. When liberty is at stake, people comply to avoid being taken away, not because the demand is lawful. Then the second officer labeling Michael as rude is pure audacity. Michael gives his surname, the officer fails to hear it, and instead of correcting himself, he portrays Michael as difficult. That is not accidental, it is narrative control. When officers realize a power has been stretched too far, they often shift focus to tone and attitude to justify their actions. Label the individual as rude, awkward, or obstructive, and suddenly, the misuse of Section 50 is buried beneath character judgment.
Michael, I'm not playing games. I'm asking you for your surname, please.
I've given you it. Under the section of law that you've stated, I've already given you my surname.
Right. And I couldn't hear you because of the vehicles coming in the
Are you
gate.
recording?
Right. What is your address, Michael?
Do I have to give my address under
You
that
do,
section?
yes.
You don't know your date of birth.
You never asked me for my date of birth, and I'm
Don't
not
need
required
his
to give my date of birth under
No,
that
that
section of
makes
law.
sense.
And this man knows that, that's why I didn't ask.
Guys, you're dismissed. Have a nice day. You are dismissed. We no longer require your services. You're very rude. You came over and abused your powers, talking about antisocial. We're not antisocial. We've been perfectly fine. We've not spoken to one single person. And you know, when I speak to professional standards later, they're going to confirm everything like they always do. All right, I get complaints upheld. We've got 3 civil claims against police forces across the United Kingdom because you're corrupt. Why is there so much police corruption, police abuse? There is, mate.
Why do you always
You're
abuse
all right,
section
listen,
50?
do you know what, right? Do you know what? You're quite reasonable, you. You are quite reasonable, mate. The way that you hold yourself and the way that you've been speaking to us, but do you know him? He's a bully boy, him.
Just, how would you feel if people start recording at the station? You know, it's not right. It's not the right thing. So we,
Yeah.
like you said, like this is like
Is that in
private
your
people
opinion
come
or in
in.
law? Because in law it says that we can do this, but in your opinion it's that we can't. So you
Exactly,
abuse
yeah.
section 50 because of your opinion, because of your ego, and because of your feelings.
Thank you. There you go, Michael. We act within the boundaries of the law and we know what we're doing.
At this point, the officer abandons the law entirely and turns to personal opinion. How would you feel? It is not the right thing. That is not a legal test. It is a moral lecture, and Michael addresses it immediately. The law does not ask officers how they would feel in the same situation. It asks whether the conduct is lawful. Officers are trained to apply objective standards, reasonable suspicion, specific offences, identifiable victims. None of these rely on hypothetical feelings. When officers resort to how would you feel, it is often because they cannot point to a power that genuinely applies. Michael highlighting this distinction matters because it draws a clear line between what the law permits and what an officer might prefer people not to do.
What we said on the beginning of this video, which is going to show, we're at Hull Police Station today, right? And we're going to show you guys today if Hull Police Station want to abuse the powers of the Section 50. And I said that before I even spoke to you guys.
Right, guys, we've got your details. Okay,
Yeah,
I'll run
have a
you
nice
through.
day. You're dismissed,
Okay,
guys.
so
We don't need your
You
advice.
dismissed,
Thank you
guys.
very
Thank
much.
you.
no,
You're
your advice is,
you
Jen,
Don't
dismissed.
abuse
I'm asking
anybody.
you-
dismissed.
Your advice is don't abuse anybody. Don't be brutalising members of public.
Stop
Oh,
abusing
right.
section
Yeah,
50.
don't do
Yeah.
that, mate, because it
No,
happens
no.
frequently, all right? And people are scared of that
certainly
uniform.
don't within this force.
Yes, it
Okay.
does, mate. I was only
So
up
what
here
I'm
the other
advising
week
you both,
reporting
gents,
on
okay,
corruption.
words of advice.
Homicide police officers. I was only up
Stay
here last
away
week
from the
reporting
gate.
on
Stay
corruption,
away
not
from-
homicide
I'm
police.
I'm off in front office right now,
Okay.
mate. What are you
I'm
going to do
going in
about
front
it?
office,
Nothing.
yeah.
You're
I'm
going to
gonna
do
give you
nothing.
So, but words of advice, stay away because
Words
members
of
of the public
Yeah, we
feeling
don't care.
harassed.
We don't care,
All
mate.
right.
We're not harassing nobody.
So-
We're not harassing nobody, mate.
I'm
so we
asking
don't
you to
care.
stay away.
I
I'm
feel
giving you
harassed
those
by you
words
now.
of
You're
advice.
harassing me
All
now.
I don't need your advice, mate.
Okay,
Go
if we
away.
need to speak to you again, we will do,
You're
gents.
dismissed, guys.
See you later.
Appreciate your
Yeah,
time.
nice
Thank
to
you.
meet Have
Bye-bye.
a lovely day.
Bye-bye.
Have a lovely day.
We're going to go in
guys.
front counter now, yeah? After the situation, we did our usual thing and we spoke to H&K solicitors. And H&K solicitors, like in Barton, they dealt with everything. and I got a nice £1,000 payout from Homicide Police. Big up to Lee Freeman. What a legend.
They leave believing they have succeeded because they achieved what they wanted in the moment. Names, compliance, silence. That is always the mistake. Michael does not need the final word on the pavement. He allows time and due process to take effect. The £1,000 award is not dramatic, but it is precise, a clear acknowledgement that the officer's interpretation of the law does not withstand scrutiny. And once again, the cost falls nowhere near those responsible. The officers return to duty unchanged, while the public funds the lesson they refused to learn on the street. That is why this continues to happen. When the consequences of misusing powers are absorbed by the force as a faceless payout, there is no incentive to improve decision-making. If even a fraction of these outcomes impacted the officer directly, financially or professionally, Section 50 would not be applied so casually. What makes this episode stand out is not just the misuse of power, but how casually it occurred. There is no urgency, no disorder, no genuine threat, just officers comfortable escalating because they assume there will be no consequence. They rely on the expectation that most people will comply, provide their details, and leave quietly. Michael did not. He allowed the process to run its full course, and when it did, the officer's version of events could not hold up beyond the street where it originated. Many of you have said the same in the comments. This continues because the consequences are too lenient. I agree. When unlawful conduct results only in a payout absorbed by the force, there is no corrective pressure. Real change comes when the misuse of powers affects career progression and personal accountability. Training is important, but consequences drive behavior. Until officers understand that abusing legislation follows them, not the taxpayer, these encounters will continue to repeat. That is it for today's video. If you found this episode informative, do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It genuinely supports my independent coverage. Also, be sure to check out News Now Yorkshire. His channel is linked in the description. Show him your support. Thank you for watching.